Fausto Battini, the chairman of EGEC. We will start the session in 2 to 3 minutes. We are still waiting some people to connect. What I ask you with this tool is to mute yourself, and we will just also show our webcam while we are doing our presentation in order to have a clear view. Okay, thank you. Okay, maybe it's 10 o'clock past 1. People are starting to be connected. So first, I suggest we start and maybe we give the introduction and the agenda to share to people.
Yeah.
So you can see on my screen what is the agenda of today. So first, I thank you really to attend this session, this matchmaking session. If you are familiar with EGEC, but also with the geothermal panel, the ship platforms with ETIPS, we are currently achieving a period of 2 to 3 years where we have drafted a vision, we have published a strategic research and innovation agenda, and then a roadmap. For 1 year, we started the implementation of this research and innovation activities. We organized a specific B2B meeting also on the Innovation Fund, but 1 year ago in September 2019. And today, we will present 2 different funding opportunities, and we offer you in this time of COVID-19, not a physical B2B meeting, but a virtual B2B meeting. What I want to do also today is to give a big thank you to many people. I think achieving this period of work where you have dedicated a lot of time to draft this document, it's time really to give you thank you to the members of the steering committee for both the geothermal panel and the ETIPS. Of course, to the members of ETIPS, you have provided a lot of valuable information in the different working groups, helping the steering committee to draft these documents. In that also, I want to thank the different partners in the secretariat, especially Adele from CNR and Ben from Vito. I want also to give a big thank you to the chairman, Fausto and Javier, which have dedicated and still dedicating a lot of time to the ETIP to promote geothermal in the calls, to be sure we have many calls on geothermal in the different funding program. Our partners, ERA Geothermal, organized a matchmaking last Tuesday, IEGEC, Geothermica, the implementation working group on deep geothermal, and also more and more now, a good collaboration and a new partner, EuroGeoSurveys. We have also to thank for the next years and for the also past years, the national and transnational funding authorities. I mentioned Geothermica, but also at national level, we receive more and more support, and we have to recognize that to develop geothermal research and innovation project. And of course, we have to thank the European Commission. So I want really to start with that because it's important to recognize that you all have done a lot of work for drafting the documents, the roadmaps, the priorities, and now it's time to implement them. And it's what we will see today with some funding opportunities and the B2B meeting. What is the agenda of the meeting? Is we have 1 hour of presentation. We'll immediately give the floor to Fausto Battini to present Horizon Europe program and what are the priorities of the ETIP. I will then give the floor to my colleague Regina, who will present you the last call of Horizon 2020, the European Green Deal call, what are the opportunities for geothermal, and then important to also brief you on new funding opportunities, and it will be my colleague Thomas reporting you about the modernization and the innovation funds. Last but not least, we have also to brief you about the regulatory framework and notably the sustainable finance framework and the European Union Renewable Energy Financing Mechanism. That should lasts for 1 hour, and after we have a B2B meeting for 1 hour. And as you can see, we have a lot of presentations, so you will have 5 minutes to present yourself. It will normally still remain 10 to 15 minutes for discussion at the end, if also you want to say orally some presentation. So with that, I'm stopping this introduction and I give you the floor. Fausto, I will show your slide. The floor is yours.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I would like first to thank you, Philippe, and all EGEC staff that provided valuable support during the this 3 year of activity of ETIP, and they contributed a lot to preparing documents and creating a good relationship with the other association and with the Economic Commission, European Commission. Next slide, please. Briefly, we are going to see what are the role of a European technological innovation platform. In particular, I will talk about deep geothermal platform, and then we will go through the research and innovation priorities that we elaborated thanks to the collaboration of steering committee and the ETIP member. Next one. Okay, this is a structure of ETIP. As you see, there is an executive committee, which is constituted by actually 3 members, essentially, the chairman, myself, and 2 co-chairs. One is the Ian van Dietrich, and the other one is Bruno Leroy from the storage. There is a secretariat, and there are a support group that contributed to the handling the documents. And there were also 5 working groups, one for exploration, one for deep drilling, one on production technology, one for surface systems, and one for non-technical issues. The interaction with the industry and academia were ensured by several meetings that occurred in the last years, and with sharing the documents. And next one. The next slide, please. Which allow us to produce 3 main documents. One is a division of deep geothermal. One is a strategic research innovation agenda, and the last one, which is a implementation roadmap. That is work, as I said, was performed with the contribution of our stakeholder, and getting from the stakeholder idea, needs, and perspectives for the development of geothermal, deep geothermal in the future. Next one. Few words about the Horizon Europe program. What is it? I think it is a big program that is to be launched soon in order to reach the target that a European Green Deal aims to reach by 2050. As you know, the Green Deal is a very ambitious object to reach carbon neutrality within 2050. So from the Horizon 2020, which is now I mean, I think it's exhausting their roles this year. From the next year, new Horizon Europe program will replace Horizon 2020. Okay, I think we missed the presentation. What's happening?
And there's a technical problem. There's somebody who wants to become presenter.
Okay.
Here it is. We're back.
Okay. Anyway, I think I will leave to Philippe and Regina to explain more in detail what is Horizon Europe during the question answer. So let's go ahead. So in this view, as I said, in order to, in the context of Green Deal, so that in order to have the geothermal energy an important role in the decarbonizing the Europe, we defined 11 topics which are the priorities of research innovation for in the period 21 to 23. So efficient resource development. I mean, there is a list. Maybe you can read the list, and now we can proceed with a more detailed explanation to the next slide, please. Okay. The topic 1 is efficient resource development. The scope is to increase the ability to optimally design, operate the geothermal system and heat and power distribution network. This is a very important effort topics because the approach will be holistic in sense that we have to consider the development not only for underground resources, but also considering the surface utility and a system in order to optimize its management. In this case, the TRL will be moving from 5 to 9 in 2030. Topic 2 is a closed loop combined power, heat and cooling plants, and integration in the circular economy. In this case, the scope is to develop cost-efficient, effective technology to improve the environmental performance of geothermal power plant and cooling and heat and cooling system along their entire life cycle. This is quite challenging and topics, and that can be achieved through the implementation of a total injection of geothermal fluid, including non-condensable gases in the original reservoir, and developing technology for the abatement or capture of non-condensable gases. Also, in this case, the TRL will be from 4 to 9. That means we have to release, I mean, a demonstration project by 2026. Next one. Topic 3 is assessing deep geothermal resources. So this implies to the scope is to produce a comprehensive mapping and reporting of geothermal resources in Europe and enhance the exploration method both for shallow and deep resources in the geological setting and in urban area should be tackled. One recommendation that I try to make is be more simple in classification of geothermal resources. Sometimes we use shallow, deep, hot, super hot, unconventional. So my suggestion for the future is to deal with geothermal resources in order to have the public opinion more less confused about this very technical definitions. Topic 4 is demonstrate enhancing flexibility availability of geothermal plants. Demonstrate the scope is to demonstrate the technical economic feasibility of responding to the grid according to the needs. In this case, the geothermal plant have the ability to increase or decrease the output and toward the grid, so that they are becoming very flexible. This is an added value that geothermal has in comparison with other renewable energies. So even in this case, the TRL should be from 5, 6 to 8. Next one. I think it's topic 4, maybe there's some mistake in the number. Anyway, developing hybrid plant. The scope is to develop power and heat, combined generation of power and heat with storage facility. That means to integrate the energy storage in the heating and district heating networks. And this implies the development of heat pumps, organic turbo expander, oil-seed turbo expander, and new heat exchanger, which can be handled, hot fluid and also for generation of heat and electricity. The development of hybrid plant should go from 5 to 7, 8 in the period of 23-26. New electronic sensor system. This is the topic, next topic, to monitor and operate intelligent geothermal well. Development of electronic sensor in high temperature geothermal wells is quite challenging, but is also an important need. So this development will lead to better control of the drilling process, even during both during the operation, drilling operation, and also in the monitoring during the operation. So again, the TRL should be, the target of TRL should be high, so between 7 and 8 in 2025. Next one. This is a topic, exploring mineral production from geothermal sources, quite important, is relatively new, at least in Europe. This approach was tackled a few years ago in other countries, South America, for instance. But the idea is to develop a novel potential solution that can help to extract metals like lithium, for instance, or other non-metallic material from geothermal brines. This is become also strategic, in particular for minerals or metals like lithium. They are very important in the battery construction. And the TRL is the two stage. The first one will be 4-5 in the next 3 years, and the expectation is to reach 7-8 in within 2026. Other topics is high temperature thermal energy storage. I mean, these topics deal with the storage of heat underground in order to have more flexibility in the heat and cooling distribution in the industrial processes, and also in heating the residential heating. This is a quite advanced technology to be developed, and so TRL will be 5 to 7-8 in 2023. Optimization with the demonstration plans, 2 or 3 demonstration plan will be executed in a period, is expected in the period 23, 27, 26. Next one. Improvement of processes, materials, and equipment lifetime to reduce the impact of scaling and corrosion. Sorry, the description of scope is not completely visible on the slide, but I think you will receive the slide afterwards. Anyway, the question is how to prevent or mitigate the effect of corrosion and scaling during the operation, and this will imply development of processes and equipment and materials that will avoid or mitigate, strongly mitigate these issues. The TRL is starting, should be reached 6-8 by 2023. And one very important thing is that the development of this process and material should be environmental benign. That means we are going to use material, for instance, the inhibitors, which are environmentally sustainable. So these are 3 different objectives: development of materials and development of eco-friendly drilling fluid. This is another important thing, that you know that during drilling there are materials like additive that are not always environmentally sustainable. So the effort should be to develop new fluids that can be stable under high temperature and high pressure, but with biodegradable, or if not biodegradable, should be not environmentally could be environmentally friendly. Cutting edge geothermal resources with energy exploration, innovative development methods. The scope is to develop methods technology for cost-effective exploration and exploitation of enhanced geothermal system, super hot. Super hot means, I suppose, higher than 400 C, so supercritical essentially, and deep resources. Offshore system, abandoned mines, and exhausted water and oil and gas well. This is a very important aspect, trying to maximize the resources which are already available in many places of the world, but that were never exploited so far due to the, I think, economic sustainability of the projects themselves. This topic is a long-term. It's a long-term target, and the TRL should start from 3 to 6 in 2030. Next one, please. This is the topic 11. That is the non-technical matters, improving social welfare. I don't really go through to all the point, but essentially is a way how we can improve the social acceptance of geothermal energy development, which in many places are facing some hurdle for the development. Next one, please. Okay, this is the other the objective of the other platform, and I will leave the floor to Philippe to go ahead. I think the question and answer will be discussed at the end of the presentation.
Indeed, thank you very much, Fausto, for this presentation. So, just to be clear, what we are presenting you are the priorities of the ETIP deep geothermal and of the geothermal panel from the EGEC platform, but we want to promote for notably the Horizon Europe program, which is about to start for the next 6 years, but also for other funding opportunities. So these are our priorities. We try to promote them towards the Commission and the members of the program committee for Horizon Europe. So it's also your job, if you want, at national level to promote these ideas. The first draft of Horizon Europe has been released to the national member of the program committee mid-September. It's under discussion, so it's important that we promote our ideas, because the document will be finalized by the end of this year to have a first call during the first semester 2021. So what we want here is really to propose you the priorities from the ETIPs and to promote them all together. Regarding the geothermal panel, I will be a bit faster than Fausto, because this was presented in a specific webinar. You can still have access to this webinar end of September with the new publication of a strategic innovation and research agenda for geothermal technologies. You have also 11 priorities for heating and cooling. So we speak here both about shallow and deep geothermal energy. To go to the details, you have some technology-specific topics we propose, like cost-efficient closed-loop technology solutions with enhanced materials and ground coupling solutions. Also here we start with a good TL to go to some demonstrations later. For the cost-efficient closed-loop technology, also shallow geothermal, we are looking at new drilling technologies and closed-loop installation solutions. So that, as you can see, is really technology-specific topics on shallow geothermal. In top of that, the geothermal panel is also promoting some topics like ETIP-DG on storage, with 2 topics on storage. First, underground thermal energy storage at also high temperature. So here we speak more than 40 degrees. What you could see in the current draft is that this topic is not especially linked to a technology-specific call on geothermal, but on a series of calls on system integration. And storage is recognized as a key technology in system integration. So we have seen in the draft several references to storage with open doors for private and underground thermal energy storage. So it's really a topic that we are quite happy to promote because it's a priority for sector integration, sector coupling in the future. Also, a specific link with storage in integration with district heating. And that is, there's also normally in the call a specific reference to underground thermal energy storage applied and integrated to district heating system. So it's a code we promote, and we think it will be also present in the next calls next year. In the shallow geothermal, the geothermal panel and shallow and deep geothermal for heating and cooling, there's also already as a priority some cross-sectoral topics like geothermal resource management in cities and for industry. So a detailed integration of geothermal energy in local energy planning. We know that it's important, urban planning for notably at city level for the different drilling. So here we speak about identify design methods and concepts. To continue this topic on geothermal resource management in cities, also there's some activities on planning tools and identifying best practice strategies for subsurface land use planning for cities. You can see here we are beyond just a technology specific. We look at integration in cities, and also here it opens the door for not only calls in energy but also in smart cities. To continue on smart sector integration, we look at different possibilities of how to provide geothermal to application in industry, especially agro-food industry. As for ETIP-DG, the new topic is minerals extraction. And you can see that it's so here we want to promote this call in the topic smart sector integration. As maybe you are aware, yesterday the European Commission released the renovation waves communication on building renovation, and here the geothermal panel we want also to promote some technologies development, technical development, some innovation and research needed for geothermal in refurbishing of buildings. So you can see here different topics that are relevant for geothermal in building renovation. Here are the three last topics that the geothermal panel wants to promote. First, it was also mentioned by Fausto for ETIP-DG. It's a topic more and more important, circular economy, so how we can have improved and eco-friendly geothermal technologies, notably innovative greener products, components, and systems. There's also some specific topics how to develop better business model for deep geothermal, notably with district heating. And here, one topic is geothermal green bonds to promote. What is also really important, we know for geothermal heating and cooling are the technological barriers, but also the non-technological barriers. So there's also a great emphasis in the research agenda on improving regulatory framework, training, building integration, etc., etc. So we know that in Horizon Europe, the call on market uptake should remain. So there will be also possibilities to improve the market conditions and the regulatory framework. So have that in mind. Today, we will present many topics which are technological, but have in mind there's also some non-technological topics if you want to promote some ideas. With that, I end my presentation, which was common with Fausto on the priorities, and we are back to the agenda, and I will now give the floor to my colleague Regina to present you the latest call presented for Horizon 2020, the European Green Deal call. So Regina, the floor is yours, and I make you presenter.
Okay, thank you very much, Philippe, and welcome everyone. I hope you are having a good start of this Friday. I suppose now you have to see my screen.
Yes, I confirm.
Perfect. So as Philippe mentioned, I'm going to walk you through the European Green Deal call. What are the key opportunities for geothermal project proposals? And we are going to discuss, first of all, what this call is about. The second, what are priority areas for geothermal project proposals, and what are the so-called secondary opportunities that are not directly linked to geothermal, but could present an opportunity to make a geothermal project proposal there. And also, I'm going to give you a few details about the application and evaluation process. So the European Green Deal call is the last and biggest call under the current Horizon 2020 program. It is specially tailored for research and innovation projects that will accelerate Europe's recovery from the coronavirus crisis and also put the priorities of the European Green Deal in the context. The project proposals should demonstrate tangible results in a relatively short time frame. The budget for this call will be 1 billion euros, with the deadline for submissions for project proposal of 26th of January 2021. The evaluation process will start in the second half of 2021, and selected projects are expected to start at the end of next year. So as we can see, the time frame is relatively short. The structure of this call reflects 8 work stream programs of the European Green Deal, which is the policy framework that has been put forward by the Commission at the end of last year. And also all these areas are complemented by 3 horizontal areas that you can see on the screen. Area 9, which refers to the strengthening our knowledge in support of the European Green Deal. Area 10 about empowering citizens for the transition, and Area 11 on international cooperation. I'm going to walk you through the priority areas for geothermal project proposals. And here we can see on the screen area number 1, which refers to the increasing climate ambition and cross-sectoral challenges. And here we have calls that are addressed to the proposals that will trigger societal transformation for key community systems. And here the European Commission lists also infrastructure and clean energy and transport. Basically, these project proposals have to be central to resilience building and sustainable growth. Regarding the key actions that can be put in here, this can refer to innovative energy technologies and the contribution to climate resilience. This profile is directly linked to geothermal energy industry. On area number 2, we have clean, affordable, and secure energy. And here we have a specific subtopic on innovative land-based and offshore renewable energy technologies and their integration into the energy system. So under this area, you could submit project proposals that could provide innovative solutions for either district heating and cooling systems or the CHP. And also it is important to highlight that these proposals should combine at least 2 or more renewable energy sources and 2 or more renewable energy technologies. For district heating systems, for example, the integration of sources of otherwise wasted heat, excess heat, or cold as well as the interfacing with existing heating and cooling distribution networks, this can be considered by the European Commission in these proposals. And for CHP solutions, the minimum capacity in terms of power supply should be 2.5 megawatt, and the electrical efficiency is expected to go well beyond the state of art. In terms of a technical readiness level, it should be between 4 and 5. On the next areas that we expect project proposals from is the area number 3, industry for a clean and circular economy. So basically the project proposals here in this area should refer to the scope of closing the industrial carbon cycle to combat climate change. The special focus will be put on innovative renewable energy driven processes that will produce synthetic fuels and chemicals at a sufficiently large scale in order to demonstrate its cost effectiveness and at the same time reducing the use of critical raw materials. Again, the lithium is going to be put in this focus as well. Basically, the project proposals in this area should bring the core technology from TRL 4.5 to up to 7 at the end of the project. Within the area number 4, which refers to energy and resource efficient buildings, Here, the European Commission expects proposals that will deliver at least 2 residential and non-residential or new and retrofitted project proposals for large-scale, real-life demonstrations of promising technology, process, and social innovations in different regions of Europe. Within this demonstrations aspects, the European Commission would like to see the scalable design of green and positive energy neighborhoods that are well embedded in the special economic and technical environmental regulation context of the demonstration sites, and also they expect to see sustainable, innovative, zero emission and more cost and energy efficient renewable energy generation in buildings. This, of course, is directly linked to geothermal energy technologies. Within this area, proposals are expected to bring the technologies from TRL 5.6 to 7.8 by the end of the project. Now, we've discussed briefly the priority areas, and now let's see what are the secondary areas that present an opportunity as well for geothermal proposals. Here we have in area number 2, again, clean, affordable, and secure energy. The European Commission also proposed calls that will focus on the potential of innovative, sustainable energy solutions for African region. And within this area, solutions should aim to provide sustainable energy access, for example, like electricity and cooking, and or creating improved health and economic wealth and jobs. And within this area, the Commission is specifically emphasizing the development of renewables potential of Africa in clean energy generation and infrastructure. Within area number 5, we have 2 different directions that again could be related to geothermal energy proposals. This is the showcase of innovative de-icing and anti-icing procedures and infrastructure for green airports, and also renewable electricity storage and waste heat recovery in green ports, and demonstrating of innovative supply energy demand at ports, particularly with the integration with green and smart logistics and operations to and from ports. Proposals that could address the topic of energy efficient buildings and green infrastructure activities could also be linked to this area. In terms of TRL, the Commission expects large-scale proposals with high TRL 6 or even above for the demonstration process. Within the area number 6, farm to fork, there is a subtopic B, which is referred to the proposals that will reduce energy use and increase energy efficiency in processing, distribution, conservation, and preparation of food. Here we can link geothermal heating for greenhouses and food processing. And within area number 9, that refers to the knowledge in support of the European Green Deal, the European Commission here emphasizes as a pilot under Horizon 2020 the activities that will focus on the provision of research and innovation for research in 2 priority areas, which is energy storage and advanced climate and environment observation and monitoring. Also within this Horizon Green Deal work program, there are some emphasis on the opportunities for geothermal lithium. I'm not going to go into details for each specific topic, but I've put 2 of them as an example here on the screen. The first one refers to the coordination and support the large-scale research initiative on future battery technologies. Here, the Commission puts emphasis on the participation of industry, academia, and relevant stakeholders within the R&I sections that would put forward the future technologies for batteries. And the second topic is related to alternative mineral resources for high volume production, which addresses the energy-intensive industries in Europe and the extraction of raw materials. Now, let's have a quick look at the application and evaluation process. What you see now on the screen is the timeline for this European Green Deal call. As I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, the deadline for project proposals will be on the 26th of January 2021. Then, after the Commission receives your proposals, they will start evaluating them, and this process is going to take up to 5 months. And by mid-May, the European Commission should send the final results to the applicants. And by the end of September 2021, which means 8 months maximum after the closure of the deadline, the grant agreement must be signed by both parts, the European Commission and the project managers or consortium of proposals. Well, what is happening now in these 5 months? Basically, the European Commission is starting to evaluate the project proposals that have been received. First of all, after they receive the project proposals, they start to allocate the proposals to evaluators. This is done via the Commission's evaluation tool, and the evaluators start to work on the aspects of eligibility and admissibility parts of the certain project proposals. After this, after the allocation of proposals, the process is divided in 3 main parts, which is the individual evaluation, the consensus group, and the panel review. At the stage of the individual evaluation, each evaluator that has been assigned by the European Commission will go through your project proposal and will produce an individual evaluation reports. These reports are put forward for the consensus group, and after they've been through these evaluation reports, they're going to put forward a consensus report. This report is going to be then forwarded to the panel review, and the panel review will publish a certain ranked list with the best and second best project proposals. And proposals that are likely to be funded at this point, they have to go an ethics review. This is mandatory by the European Commission. And at the end of this evaluation process, there will be a final ranking list where the European Commission is going to publish the final list of the project proposals that have been accepted. And this, the entire evaluation summary reports will be sent to the applicants. In terms of the scoring scale, the Commission is going to use this scores from 0 to 5. 0 means that the proposal fails to address the criterion or cannot be addressed due to the missing or incomplete information that were not found in the project proposals. And the 5 means that your proposals are excellent and there are no shortcomings or minor issues. Now, I would like to also give you in this context of evaluation process some tips that have been highlighted also by the European Commission in a lot of webinars that have been organized. First of all, what they are expecting you is to understand the call conditions and the text from the work program. So you have to be very careful when reading this text and to understand what exactly the Commission is looking for. The second tip is leave no doubt on TRLs or state of the art in your project proposals. Basically, what you have to specify very in detail is the situation that we have now and what you want to achieve by the end of the project. The Commission within this European Green Deal call is putting a lot of emphasis on impact. So it's very important to outline in your project proposals the impacts that you expect by the end of the project, and also this impact has to be credible. This is one of the main areas where the Commission is going to look into details and assess your credibility in your project proposals. Also, in order to make it easy to follow within your text of proposals, you can also use graphics to illustrate something that can be illustrated through graphs. The Commission is encouraging you to do it. Also, another tip is to respect the page limits and not using tiny fonts or tight line spacing. The details are also counting in this process. So if you have a certain requirement for submitting your project proposals, do not hesitate to follow them. Here will be my next point. So if you want to have further details on the European Green Deal call, first of all, there is the Funding and Tender Opportunities portal. I'm sure that most of you are already familiar with. There is the Horizon 2020 work program, and also EGEC produced a fact sheet on the European Green Deal call. You can find it in the members area. And here we are outlining the areas that have been illustrated in this webinar today. And also you will find there all the links that are necessary for providing information for you in order to apply for funding for this call. So that would be it from my side. And if there are any questions, we would be happy to address them. Philippe, back to you.
Thank you, Regina. As you can see already as a first lesson from this new Horizon Europe Green Deal call, we have some technology-specific calls, but there's a lot of calls which are cross-sectoral, notably about sector integration, which are also opportunities. One example, they want to decarbonize transport infrastructure, ports, airports. We have plenty of examples of snow melting, de-icing, geothermal solutions in many airports in Europe, in Northern Europe. So good ideas to replicate that also. So look at really in detail of all the topics and you will find several opportunities. With that, I will give the floor now to Thomas Garabetian, our EGEC Senior Policy Officer, to present you in top of this Horizon Europe Green Deal call of opportunities and notably an interesting new topic from the Innovation Fund to be released. Thomas, the floor is yours.
So I'm going to first start with a quick presentation of the Modernization and Innovation Fund. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. So the Innovation Fund is the Innovation Fund aims to finance innovative clean energy technology projects. It is about 10 billion euros. The size of the fund will depend on the ETS carbon price, because both the Innovation Fund and the Modernization Fund are using money or allowances. So basically the sales of the right to emit tons of carbon in the EU ETS as the basis for the funding of both this program. So the Innovation Fund will cover about 60% of the additional cost of projects due to the implementation of innovative technologies. There will be about 1 or 2 calls per year. So the first call, I'm sorry, this is a slide I should have updated, is ongoing, and it is for projects above 7.5 million euros of total project costs, and project applying should be in EU ETS countries. Now, the procedure for the Innovation Fund is, let's say, slightly complex. So first, projects applying must have been quite close, basically, to being able to undertake investment, typically having undertaken feasibility studies and so on. And the grant is awarded. When the grant is awarded to a project, then it can be allocated, up to 40% of the grant can be unlocked without having to justify actual emission savings, so before having to prove the performance of the project. So for geothermal energy, this is quite relevant, especially to finance exploration expenditures and so on. And then the rest of the money is allocated depending on verified emission avoidance. So you have to show that you can generate renewable energy to be able to receive your grant, and you have to show also this verified emission performance is sustained over 10 years. Now, I will not go into too much details about the differences between the Innovation Fund and Horizon 2020 and Horizon Europe that Regina presented. Broadly, what you have to know is that the Innovation Fund is for technologies that are not anymore at the, let's say, research and innovation phase, but really innovative technologies that need to be brought to market. So if you are familiar with this concept, the Innovation Fund really aims to bridge the valley of death. So this time for a technology that is between the time where you cannot receive an innovation funding anymore because you are at TRL 9 basically, and the time when you cannot really access the market because there are not enough existing example of this technology, so investors are not quite confident to invest yet. Now, the criteria for project selections are broadly first the emission saving that can be demonstrated over the first 10 years of operation. The degree of innovation, so typically the implementation of breakthrough technologies and how consistent they might be with 2050. So when I say 2050, I mean consistent with the objective of carbon neutrality at the European level in 2050. Project maturity and due diligence is also quite important for selection of project, and obviously as well the scalability of the technology. There is one ongoing call until 29 October, so only 2 weeks now to continue applying for this call. I have included the link in the presentation for the call documents, and there will be by the end of 2020 a call for small scale projects, so with total project cost inferior than 7.5 million euros, and this should be issued by the end of 2020, and the process for the design of the call has already started. Now, looking very quickly about the modernization fund, this is a different type of program, which is not looking only at innovative technologies, but it's looking at modernizing the energy infrastructure in 10 Eastern European countries. So this fund is not operational yet. It will be from January 2021. 70% of the fund will have to be spent typically on projects that contribute to reducing emissions. So, for instance, the production of renewable energy, but also into energy infrastructure, and notably the district heating pipelines, which could be quite relevant in the countries where it should be implemented. So here I will not go into details because we are quite short on time, but these are the list of countries that can benefit from the innovation fund, from the modernization fund, sorry. So Poland typically should be the main beneficiary, but other European countries can benefit. And again, this is let's say a visual about how the fund will be allocating funding. In a nutshell, unlike the innovation fund, which is really based on EU-wide grants, the modernization fund is having a more complex, let's say, structure where at the very least, member states and national ministries will have a very strong influence in selecting, a very strong role in selecting projects. So here, it will maybe not be as, let's say, as open a field as for the innovation fund, but there should be some degree of tendering process even at the national level. So now the modernization fund has been established by the ETS regulation, so it is also in the framework of the carbon market. Now the next steps for this program are for the geothermal industry in general and EGEC to coordinate this work typically and provide support, to engage with national ministries and the European Commission to ensure that the details of the modernization fund and the project that might be selected or pre-selected include geothermal energy, and that the allocation of money from the modernization fund is relevant for geothermal energy projects. So now I'm going to present you also very rapidly the sustainable finance regulation and the EU renewable energy financing mechanism. So sustainable finance regulation is a new EU regulation which aims to, let's say, codify what is a sustainable investment at the European level, including for the private sector. Right now, let's say private financing can claim to deliver sustainable finance product with very little accountability. So the idea of this sustainable finance framework is to provide a very clear list of criteria and clear rules for the implementation of these criteria on what is a sustainable investment. The idea being to mainstream sustainable finance in the general private financial sector. So to do this, the EU is putting into place a sustainable finance taxonomy, which notably aims to establish an EU classification system to determine whether an economic activity is environmentally sustainable. And this is typically linked or very much taking inspiration to the already existing green bond standard. Now for geothermal energy, the good news in this sustainable finance framework is that geothermal energy is considered to be a sustainable investment in general, and is clearly and explicitly listed. Geothermal electricity, to be considered as a sustainable investment, has to comply with a life cycle emission threshold of 100 grams CO2 per kilowatt hour. For geothermal heat, this threshold is 3 grams of CO2 per kilowatt hour. And for geothermal heat pump, they have to justify SPF of 3.33 to be eligible as a sustainable investment. Now, from the perspective of the geothermal industry, there's an issue of discriminatory criteria, because although most technologies, all technologies are subjected to these life cycle emission thresholds, not all of them actually have to demonstrate them in the text of the regulation or as it is now. And typically geothermal has to, while typically wind and solar do not. So EGEC now is working to ensure that the application of this emission performance factor is aligned among renewable energy technologies, so that geothermal is not penalized compared to other renewable technologies to be considered a sustainable investment, but also that should the emission performance factor be applied, it should reflect the best practices, and most notably the not accounting the natural emissions of natural geothermal system into the geothermal energy project. So typically here, one of the best reference being the GeoEnergy project and the GeoEnergy life cycle assessment methodology. Now, in the framework of this EU sustainable finance taxonomy, a platform for sustainable finance has been established. It is a platform that is at this point only made up of financial stakeholders. So now EGEC is looking to engage with the platform to either obtain the inclusion of geothermal industrial representatives, or to at least make sure these stakeholders understand the stakes of the geothermal industry specifically, and that the financial rules do not go against the technical reality of the sector. Now, at the European level, another quite important initiative is the Renewable Energy Financing Mechanism, which is a financing program that was established in the framework of the governance for the 2030 climate and energy policies. It will be operational from January 2021. And typically for geothermal project developer, it will take the form of EU-wide tendering scheme that look to support renewable energy projects. And broadly to understand how this, what is driving the system, the idea is to enforce the gap filling. So member states will have to deploy collectively 32% at least of renewable energy by 2030, following an early linear trajectory. So if, in terms of the delivery on this target, the EU is not in line with this 32% target, then member states will be, let's say, we'll have to implement some measures, and one of these measures would be to pay into this fund. So this would be how it works. The details on how the tendering scheme will be set up are not quite entirely defined yet. So the opportunities for geothermal energy that typically large projects might be able to benefit from the tendering scheme, so far as the tendering is designed in a way that is fit for geothermal energy, so typically accounting for flexibility, or explicitly aiming to implement renewable heating and cooling projects. Then geothermal de-risking schemes themselves might be financed by this program, which puts a very strong emphasis on de-risking the financing of projects, which is a very common theme in EU financing programs. And we might also be able to see some financing for regional heating and cooling schemes. So, for instance, this could take the form of a regional subsidized loans scheme for geothermal heat pump, or supporting the establishment of business models such as heat as a service, etc. So there are some potential, and now EGEC is looking to ensure the tendering design is fit for geothermal energy project to benefit from it. So this is all for my presentation. Thank you all for your attention, and Philippe, I give you back the floor.
Thank you, Thomas, and yeah, I hope you have digested all the information. Be aware that anyway, the presentation will be available soon on the different websites of EGEC and ETIP-DG. Now we are starting the B2B meeting, so it's a virtual one as we are not able to meet. What is the process? We have 8 presentations. I will give the floor to all of you. You will have 5 minutes. We start. When you start, you unmute your mic. If you want, you can also show your webcam to present yourself, and we go with that. So 5 minutes, 8 presentation. We have 40 minutes. The first one to present is from Italy, EGEC.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. It's Ernesto here. Do you hear me?
Yes, floor is yours.
Good morning, Philippe. Good morning. So I'll try to share my screen now. Do you see my presentation?
Not yet, but no, yes. Okay.
Okay, fine. Fine. So let me present myself. My name is Ernesto Petteruti, and I'm the upstream manager for technologies here in EGEC. So EGEC is a production chemistry company working in the domain of asset integrity and flow assurance and production optimization. We work in the different domains of the oil and gas industry, and we deliver tailor-made chemicals and services to both upstream and downstream oil and gas industry and water treatment industry. So just to describe EGEC very briefly, we operate since 45 years. We have 5 different divisions working in different sectors of the oil and gas treatment, from upstream extraction of hydrocarbons to refineries and petrochemicals and additives, and both in water treatment. And we operate in more than 65 countries. And we really try to tailor-made our products and services. So we have a huge portfolio of different products sized for the different applications. So going to why EGEC is trying to introduce ourselves in the sector. is that the importance of corrosion scaling that is also underlined in the deep geothermal agenda, that puts into evidence how important it is to take care of corrosion scaling phenomena in the geothermal to secure the energy delivery and to reduce downtime of the assets. And these objectives are clearly defined in the deep geothermal agenda to try to reduce downtime, try to increase the operational lifetime of the equipment, and possibly doing some research and innovation related to environmental and green chemicals. So we asked to ourselves, why don't we try to export our deep knowledge of production chemistry and services from the upstream sector to the geothermal sector, because there are a lot of aspects that are in common between these two domains. And this is why we started incrementing our investment in laboratory equipment and software that allow us to formulate added value chemicals for the geothermal environment. Indeed, we now have available scaling and corrosion simulation platforms and also HPHT equipment for scaling inhibitors and corrosion inhibitor selection in HPHT environment and in the sour and sweet gas corrosion environment that is typical from deep geothermal assets. This is one of our last projects that we are developing. That is an autoclave that will allow us to make experiments for corrosion inhibitor selection at high temperatures, up to 200 degrees, pressures up to 30 bars, and with sweet and sour environment. So we already have some ongoing projects, for example, in Germany, where we are formulating a scale inhibitor for norm scaling and a corrosion inhibitor for pitting, and also in Croatia, where we are formulating a combo product for sweet corrosion and carbonates inhibition downhole. We also trying to expand our knowledge to flow assurance integration with transient multi-phase flow simulation for geothermal assets, and we are doing this in partnership with Tia Sistemi, that is an Italian company that is expert in this domain. And what I'm highlighting here is also the presentation they made in the Geothermal Congress in Europe in 2019. So just to conclude, I want to underline and highlight that EGEC is looking for partnership in the asset integrity and flow assurance domain for scaling corrosion projects, to formulate green chemicals, and more in general in asset integrity and management projects. So accessing the European program funds in partnership with other companies will boost development of innovative equipment and workflows to build chemicals with added value, reaching the targets declared in the Deep Geothermal Innovation Agenda.
Thank you very much, Ernesto, for respecting the time. Really interesting presentation. If we look at the Horizon Europe Green Deal call from Regina, there's not a technology-specific call on that, but that could fit notably for the calls on renewable, district heating, or combined heat and power, because the TRL is quite low at 4, scaling corrosion. If you look at in the agenda, there's opportunities indeed for such a technologies in the call. Thank you, Ernesto. I will now give the floor to Dimitrios from CRES. So the floor is yours.
Okay, so shall I share my screen also?
Yes, please.
Okay. So you can see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. So just a moment. Well, I press it, but it doesn't work.
If not, I will show from my screen.
Okay, thank you.
You can start to speak and showing.
Okay, so just a moment. So can you please start the presentation? The first slideshow. Okay. So I'm Dimitrios Mendrinos, a senior expert on geothermal energy from the Center of Renewable Energy Sources and Saving. CRES is the National Coordination Center on Renewable Energy and Energy Savings of Greece. We are both an energy agency and a research and technology center. As an energy agency, we work on energy policy, management of investment programs, energy planning, and dissemination of new energy technologies. As an R&D center, we cover all aspects of renewable energy and energy savings. Next, please. Okay, here are our premises. On the bottom right corner, you can see an aerial view of our head offices. Our laboratory's aerial view is on the left, and we also operate an energy education park at Lavrio, where different renewable energy technologies are exhibited. You can see here some solar collectors, thermal collectors, wind turbines, photovoltaic panels. We have also a ground source heat pump facility. Next, please. The Geothermal Energy Department operates for 30 years now, effectively contributing to the development of geothermal energy in Greece, European Union, as well as in third countries. We have been participating in more than 100 projects and studies concerning development and market introduction of geothermal technologies. We also provide consulting services to public and private sectors. Our technology development activities cover both the deep geothermal exploration and exploitation matters, also the shallow geothermal technology. In the deep exploration and exploitation technology, we deal with power generation, enhanced geothermal systems, also with super hot geothermal systems, supercritical magma, etc. In the shallow geothermal technology, we develop ground source heat exchangers, their construction methods, geothermal heat pump technology, and underground thermal storage systems and materials. Next, please. On the market uptake, previous, please. Okay, market uptake activities cover the all range from geothermal power generation, low enthalpy geothermal, and ground source heat pumps markets. On the geothermal power generation market, we have worked on reduction of investment risk, on social acceptance issues. We are particularly strong in this matter, and on geothermal potential exploration and development studies and technology studies. Okay. In the low enthalpy geothermal market, we have worked on regional support plans, feasibility studies, and legal aspects, while in ground source heat pump market, we have been involved in dissemination activities, action plans, policy, and coupling with other renewable energy sources. In the Green Deal call, our topics of interest include the 2.1, innovative land-based and offshore renewable energy technologies and their integration into the energy system, the 2.3, accelerating the green transition and energy access partnership with Africa, the 4.1, building and renovating in an energy and resource efficient way, and the 10.2, behavioral, social, and cultural change for the Green Deal. Keywords are the socioeconomic aspects, social acceptance, public engagement strategy, behavioral change, regulatory framework, market uptake, socioeconomic impacts, market analysis, business models, but can also deal and work on technology matters. Here I have selected 4 most important projects. All of them have been conceived and coordinated by CRES. The first one is the Lobin, which concerned the development of an efficient low temperature geothermal ORC machine, which has been constructed and demonstrated and monitored in operation in the district heating geothermal system of Simbach-Braunau. It was coupled to geothermal fluid of 80 degrees source temperature. The groundment project, which is a very important project on developing technology on ground source heat pumps. 8 super ground source heat pump systems were developed, demonstrated and monitored in real-time operation for heating and cooling of 8 buildings. The technology development included the entire integrated system from borehole heat exchanger to the heat pump, the heat distribution system, and also thermal storage and controls. In geothermal heat pumps market development, a very important project is the ground reach, which concerns the development of ground source heat pumps market at European level through suitably targeted conferences, workshops, meeting, publication, also addressed to key stakeholders. And the social acceptance project for the geothermal power generation plant in Kimolos Island, where socioeconomic benefits and environmental impacts at local level were evaluated, which resulted from future operation of a geothermal power plant on Kimolos Island. If you want to collaborate with us, you can call me, you can contact me at my email, which is the address, email address shown here. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dimitri. I'm sorry for the slide. It was an automatic move from one slide to another slide. I was not managing that.
It was automated slideshow, that's why.
Okay,
so
exactly.
Talking a lot.
Thank you, Dimitris.
Yes.
I will now give the floor to Gregor for the cost action.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. So I will try to share my screen now. So thank you for also letting me speak. Can you see my screen already?
Yes, I confirm.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot. So I will briefly talk about already building up consortium on a dedicated project idea. It's called GODH. It's the current working title. We would like to focus in the project on above all existing heating and cooling networks, but also new ones for the implementation of geothermal energy. I'm working on the Geological Survey of Austria, and at the same time, I'm the chair of a recently started cost action on geothermal DHC, on the inclusion of geothermal energy in district heating and cooling networks. So we would like to apply for the LCGD 2.1 topic on land-based renewable energy technologies. Our main ambition idea is to show ways and concepts, also of course at the low technological readiness level, to further increase the share of geothermal energy in the overall heating sector, but above all in the district heating sector. We would like to really point out the importance of exergetic prioritization. That means that not everything can be solved with electricity and green gas, but also low energy content renewables like geothermal, ambient thermal, solar thermal, and biomass have the important role in the future energy supply in heating systems. We want to address the gap between heating and cooling grids of different generations. So we also look at the very old ones still exist, which are fossil fuel fired, coal, gas, oil, and we want to look at the other side of the spectrum, the newest generation of low temperature heating and cooling grids. And we would like to address concepts, ways to bridge the gap between geothermal as a source and the heat demand of district heating and cooling grids. As most of you know, that more than 70% is still based on fossil fuels in district heating systems. And our concept looks at twofold way to include geothermal energy. First, as a base load, because the main advantages are the low operational costs of geothermal energy, and as a storage to raise efficiency, as you can see here. But moreover, the topology which we would like to address, it will include fluctuating renewable energy sources, like solar thermal, for instance. We have to look at peak load solutions, could either be more storage or could also be in implementing low investment costs energy carriers. It could be like, for instance, gas, green gas, but could also be something like electricity. Depends on the concept. We also have to look at the situation of the clients of the heating grid. So we are talking about consumers and prosumers. And combined heat and power will not be the focus of what we will do. It might be one option to raise the efficiency of heating grids or the use of geothermal energy in detail, linked, of course, to storage. So what we want to demonstrate is that it is possible to raise the share of geothermal energy in district heating cooling grids to 30% in 2030 and 50% in 2050. We are currently around 5%. If you look at the European scale, plus minus. So who is the consortium? So the first movers have been the Technical University of Delft, Munich, and my organization. Together we are inside the cost action geothermal DHC. In addition, we also have ERA, JP Geothermal, and the Eurogeo Survey as cooperating partners. We would like to, what do we want to do in our project? We would like, first of all, to integrate renewable energy in multi-source geothermal heating grids. We're looking at existing retrofitted district heating systems, so especially at the very old one, like I mentioned before. We would like to raise the capacity factor, lower the environmental impact. This is a very important topic, and what is quite innovative from our point of view. We would like to follow such developments in space and time. That means also geothermal energy systems have an ending lifetime. How to prolong it? How can the district heating system grow together with geothermal energy use? So we would like to map the current topology of district heating systems, look which concept would fit where. We would like to pick up key pilot regions, 5 across the Europe at different boundary conditions, and in addition we would have some kind of digital lower pilots where we would more concentrate on desktop studies. We will also want to look very much at unconventional geothermal, especially I would like to foster again geothermal energy in those regions where you have an old district heating systems but you don't have any aquifers. So who are we looking for we are looking for geothermal DHC operators who would like to become a case study and cooperate with us in the project. We are looking also for geothermal experts which have a very strong connection to local communities, local decision makers, because we want to include those people also in our project. What is still missing from the competence point of view is energy conversion experts from other renewables like biomass, solar thermal, grid operate or controlling, and and the international organization would also be very helpful to raise the impact of what we want to do. So this was it in brief. If you're interested to get in contact with me, you see my email address here. And thank you, Philippe, for giving me the opportunity to speak. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Greg. Indeed, it's really clear presentation and a good proposal. It reminds me to say that indeed, look at the call on land base. Have in mind that it's mentioned renewable district heating and cooling or CHP, but indeed sometimes CHP could be connected to district heating, so that is to be also further clarified.
Yes.
It's mentioning that the calls should also indeed not be only about one technology. It should be multiple sources, multiple technologies. So what you present, combination different sources and technology with storage, is exactly fitting the call.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gregor. I will now give the floor to Mr. Vittorio Faluomi from TIA Group.
Okay, good morning. I will share my monitor. Okay.
You should be able to see the presentation, I think.
Yes, we can. The floor is yours.
Okay, perfect. So here we go. I'm Vittorio Ferruoni from Tea Sistemi, and today I would like to present our company in the frame of the the geothermal area, and I would like to present the company through the presentation of our latest project, research project on the geothermal environment, which is called Progeo. Just few words about the company. We are an operative company which is born from a research center which was established in 1989, and we worked with Enel in Italy up to the end of last century on the geothermal project, especially for the Laddarello site. Then we move partially on other energy areas, namely oil and gas, but we continue to perform research and development. And in 1997, we become an operative company, which now count about 40 people, split in 3 parts, 2 in Pisa and 1 in Milan. And we still work heavily on the research and development. We have a completely full equipped lab in Pisa where we can do experimentation with the real fluid up to 40 bars. And together with this activity, we have also a very, very deep activity in the research and development on the modeling of fluid dynamics, especially on multi-phase flow, which has now become a 30 years activity. So, starting describing our project, the project has been performed under the financing of Regione Toscana and has been performed with a team, which is another Italian company very active on the thermal side, and GIS3W, which is a company located near Florence, which is expert on GIS applications. And the project is a simulator. It's like a platform or a simulator, which is devoted to the design, the complete design of a geothermal plant, starting from the wells up to the process plant, and all of this is georeferenced and developed through a georeferential website. And the core of this application is our multi-phase flow model MAST, which is suited to do calculation, to do simulation both for oil and gas and multi-phase and geothermal application. And as I said, the WebGIS interface is based on the WebGIS platform developed by GIS3W company, and it allowed to perform all the design activity before the simulation, so we can choose the different components and so on. And then, based on that, we can do the simulation, and once the plant is in operation, we can also monitor the function of the plant using a possible interface with the DCS system. The core of this project is the MAST code, which has been developed in Tea Sistemi, and is a transient 1D multi-phase flow simulator, which is suitable for simulate both oil and gas and geothermal network up to the process plant, including all the components that can be used on the plant, so separator, turbine, heaters, and whatever. And the scope of this project is to give a valuable instrument to not only design but also operate a geothermal plant,
and also integrate this design with the you know, the territory, because it's completely based on GE's website, so we can take care about all the issues related to the, you know, to the environment. And in terms of capabilities, the system can simulate all the fluids that we can have on a geothermal application, and based on this design, it can be applicable to each kind of geothermal application, both for open or closed system, whatever is the, you know, is the design. Just to conclude my presentation, Te Sistemi is a service company, a research development company, which has a dimension that cannot allow to propose, let's say, directly a project, but since we have a very large experience on the numerical and modeling simulation, and also we have also a fully equipped laboratory, we think to be able to provide a very valuable service, and we can have we can be considered as an added value on a possible you know, group of company which would like to propose a project in the frame of the Green Deal project of H2020. Also consider the fact that we have a large experience on project proposal which start from 1991 up to now. So we participate to several FP7, H2020, and also regional projects. So we have also experience not only in providing service within a project, but also within the you know, the design of the project itself. And for any request of information, further information, that we can just drop a mail to myself, and then I will be happy to answer. Thank you for the time given.
Thank you very much, Vittorio. Indeed, it was this objective also of the B2B meeting. Some are presenting a clear project proposal, but some like you also propose a company profile with the services you can provide to join a consortium. So it was exactly the objective of our B2B meeting. As we have also informed all participants, the contact detail will be shared. So if you want to contact Vittorio, you will have all the contact details allowing you to be in contact with him. Thank you again. I will now take back the floor as a presenter, because the next presentation should be done by TLS Geothermics, a French company. As you can see from the list, we have a good geographical representation: Italy, Greece, Austria, France, Portugal, Germany, and Ireland. So it's good to see from all over Europe some ideas. So for TLS Geothermics, I will not go to a detailed presentation because I'm not allowed to give them the presentation, but just to show you the slides they sent to us. So it's a French company. They have also some activities in research and development, as you can see, in risk, hazards, financial stake, notably with low TRL, as you could see. They have already been involved in different projects for the last 6 years. So from 2014, you can see the GeoPass 3D project, the thermofault project, and the permeafault project. So you can see their expertise. They are also currently involved in a series of projects as a research, as a service company, but also as a developer. Notably, what they want to emphasize is their expertise in risk reduction, in hazard reduction, and here you can see their contact details. So as I say, we have received their presentation. They are not able to give a full presentation today, but the slides will also be shared to you, and the contact details. So I know that it's a lot of information today we send to you, but you will have time to digest. The deadline for the code is 26th of January. It's not tomorrow, it's the day after tomorrow, but still you have time to digest all the information we give you. With that, I will now give the floor to the next presentation. It's from Portugal, Termogeo, and I give the floor to Mr. Bruno Pereira. You are still muted, so you have to unmute yourself.
I haven't muted
Okay.
myself. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I'll just try and share my screen. Is it shared already?
Is it?
So I will keep very simple. Thank you for the opportunity to give this small presentation. Just to give a little bit of background. I'm a geologist. I have been working for the last almost 20 years, almost side to side with geothermal and mineral exploration. Termogeo is just an acronym for a project we are now starting to develop between SMEs and three universities, academias here in northern Portugal, Porto Minho and Viana do Castelo. We also have been developing it with some economic with the economic sector of the spas here in the northwestern of Portugal. We've done some exploratory work regarding geophysics and geochemical exploration methods, and we came upon some interesting results in a granite in a shear zone related area. So the first slide is a given. As you might be aware, here in Portugal, we are quite advanced, I think, in terms of renewable energy production and renewable energy dissemination. But however, we are strong in hydropower, windmills, but still in geothermal, I think there is a lot of work to be done, and that's where we try to get in. So, just to give you a few hints, we are in a highly populated area. If we include the Porto area, we must have another 2 million people next to this geological structure. We are in a urban area, so we will have to develop exploration techniques for urban areas, highly populated areas with a lot of land planning issues. So we in our team, we have a dedicated research item for the land planning and usage. So that's something we want to carry on since day one. We intend to use this ground as a case study together with other case studies in Europe. So we also have a high energy demand in this area. Which is something that can boost the interest of the political decision makers and land planning decision makers. So we early on stumbled upon some interesting results using gravimetry. So we also have some indicators from the isotopic studies that say that we can be when we cross that with the geophysical results, we now are starting to think that the deposit or the geological structures are bigger than one intended. The usage given here in North Portugal is for spas and medical treatments. So the temperatures can range up to 50 degrees, 60 degrees. However, the isotopes give us hints about temperatures well above 150 degrees and not very deep. So our impact, I think it's self-explanatory. We intend to develop science and also be in close contact with the decision makers in land planning. So, and on top of that, we work together with the already existing economic uses of the geothermal resources, with the spas. We have been working with them, and we want to ensure that there is no conflict between the current use of geothermal resources and the future that we envision of electricity producing plants. So just to finish and to wrap up, we have a team of 3 academias, 3 SMEs, and the main spas here in northern Portugal. We have good research infrastructures. We have a highly motivated team, and we would like to find some partners to with us, serving as a case study, and also how should I put this? Also to be in this border between geothermal or energy exploration and exploitation, and the mineral content exploitation also, mainly for cosmetics. We have a comprehensive experience in lithium and hard rock, but we think that further or more than lithium, probably the cosmetics will be a huge consumer of mineral content of these brines. Please drop us a mail if you want. We'll be more than happy to respond. And thank you for your attention. I won't take you any more time.
Thank you very much, Bruno, for this presentation. And indeed, as you mentioned, there are a lot of opportunities directly geothermal specific, but on minerals also. Of course, the focus today in Brussels is a lot about lithium, but also other minerals are important for cosmetic. We see silica in Iceland also has been developed. So good to know your expertise. Thank you, Bruno.
No, you're welcome. Thank you.
And I will now continue to the last 2 presentations. And the first one is from Fraunhofer, Isabella Nardini. The floor is yours, Isabella. You are still muted, I think.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, okay. I will share my screen because I just prepared one slide for the a proposal for the Green Deal, but I think it would be better also to present the institute. So I will share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Yes. Yeah.
No, not yet.
No?
Yes, no, we can. No, we can. Perfect. The floor is yours.
Okay, so I'm presenting the new institute of Fraunhofer, EIG, which is the new institute from energy infrastructures and geothermal systems in Germany. We have several locations, and our main fields are energy system analysis, integrated energy infrastructures, geo-resources and geothermal systems, energy sector coupling of the heat, power and mobility sectors, and energy storage system. These are our location in Germany, in the eastern part and in the western part. And these are our departments, which basically are the main fields of activity of our institute. Energy technologies and infrastructures, power production engineering and energy system, georesources, geotechnologies, integrated energy infrastructures, storage and subsurface systems, heat and gas and material infrastructures, and open district hub. So this, I just will go quite quickly in the description, but I'm sure that this presentation will be circulated. So I just go to the main working group that you can contact in case of interest. Process engineering, infrastructure for heat and cold, energy system, upstream processes, and building integration. And here listed our competencies. Production engineering and energy system. Basically, we focus on the thermodynamic and production engineering based analysis of heat supplies infrastructure in order to investigate the requirements of a new generation heat conversion technologies. So we are highly working on an integrated system for energy technologies. Georesources, the working groups are exploration, reservoir simulation, geo-risk, raw materials and resource management. We have a test site for drilling and a real lab I will show you later. So we have an advanced drilling technology department reservoir engineering, deep drilling technologies, and we have this site where we can test new technology for drilling and for other purposes, monitoring and geothermal geology. Integrated energy infrastructures. This is one of our goals. Also, we are working on this topic. Storage and subsurface system. Actually, we are working on several projects. One of these is HitStore. We are working on the storage in mines because, as you know, part of Germany and of the Central Europe, there are many mines, and we are working on storage in the old coal mine. Heat gas material and infrastructures. And then we have several infrastructures. One of our interest field of activities is the conversion of existing networks for multimodal operation of hydrogen and methane. This is what we would like to work, and we are working on this topic. Hydrogen storage and mineralization of CO2. So we are also really highly interested in storage and utilization of CO2 and hydrogen storage also. These are our lab. These are some of the infrastructure that we have this is in Bochum site. The drilling rig where you can test drilling and drilling technologies, still in Bochum. Energy technologies, geoscience lab. Matchbox this is for doing experiment at mesoscale, which are up to from a few centimeter samples to up to 3 meters sample. So here is, for example, you can put a core of a drilling. Real world lab, which is this big test site that we have in Bochum, and we have also a deep geothermal system in Weisballer. So we are drilling a deep well for studying and exploring deep geothermal. So this is the idea we propose for one of the topic of the Green Deal, which is related to this call, to this, yes, innovative and land-based and offshore renewable energy. The subtopic 1, land-based renewable energy technologies and their integration into the energy system. We propose to develop a digital framework and digital twin to image and simulate the interaction of different renewable energy sources on technologies and user in a district heating and cooling. It aims to optimize the operation, forecasting, machine learning, similar to forecasting load and supply in the electrical grid, plan and design procedures for coupling district heating and cooling components, reduce carbon footprint. The technology, the renewable energy source will be a heat pump, and we have already in mind, and we can use these use cases in Bochum, integration with by integrating CSP and CHP heat storage in mine and district heating, in Aachen, and in another ongoing project, which is ODH. So I prepare also several other slides on different topics, for example, the European-African cooperation, but this is the main focus of the Green Deal for us. So if some of you is interested in collaborating with us, just contact me. In any other fields also, not only in the one that we would like to focus for sure for this call. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, Isabella. Indeed, the call also for Africa is one of our opportunities. So thank you for also sharing this this idea and your contact details. So if people are also interested by the topic in Africa, maybe they can liaise with you.
So maybe I can show you one slide about this.
One slide, you can, yes.
Yeah. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Not yes. So as you know, there is an ongoing project that will start on January 2021, which is part of the LIPRI, which is a big project on several LIP project, a big project on European-African long-term cooperation on renewable energies. And with the geothermal energy, we are present with two projects. One is the Geothermal Atlas for Africa, and the other one is Geothermal Village. And this is an existing project. The second phase of with this Green Deal call, there is this Europe-Africa international cooperation, which can be focused, and it's already foreseen in this LIPRI, with the second phase of Geothermal Village. Geothermal Village is the main objective is to introduce geothermal-based standalone electric and thermal energy system to off-grid African communities. And the project is directly addressed to smart grid for off-grid application, smart standalone system, and processes and appliances for productive uses. So basically, with this LIPRI, which is the ongoing project, we are studying this and having everything prepared to the Geothermal Village Phase 2, which will be basically the pilot of this, the preparation, the pilot and the demonstration of this Geothermal Village Phase 1. I don't know if I was clear or I was confused. It's clear? Because in this Green Deal call, as you will see, the TRL required for this call will also be up to the piloting. So we will propose the pilot project of Geothermal Village Phase 2.
Okay, no, indeed, quite interesting, Isabella. Thank you very much. I will now go to the last presentation and give the floor to Nick O'Neill from SLR in Ireland. Nick, the floor is yours.
Grant, thanks, Philippe. Would you manage the slides from your side for me, please?
You can start to speak. I'm able to show it.
If you could show the slides from your side, Philippe, that'd be helpful.
Yes, it's okay. You can start to speak. Okay. I'm able to show them.
Brilliant. Okie doke. Thanks a lot for the opportunity to present to the group today. I don't have a project proposal. It is just an introduction to SLR as a company and to demonstrate how we might add value to projects that are being developed. So on this first slide, you can see we're an Irish SME with a good track record in involvement in successful geothermal energy projects. I've just shown a few of them there. We specialize in the transfer of skills and know-how from the oil and gas industry to the renewable energy sector, and that's based on 20 years managing an oil and gas research program in Ireland, and that particular petroleum infrastructure program has now realigned its strategy to look at skills transfer, and that includes skills transfer and technology transfer and know-how to the geothermal sector. And if you could go to the next slide, Philippe, please. So this gives you an indication of how well connected SLR is with industry, where our clients are in many different sectors. You can see the skills that we apply. We're not just geologists and geophysicists, we're also planners, environmental scientists, ecologists, civil engineers in the company. but we're particularly well connected, as you can see there, to the mining and mineral sector, which is particularly relevant to the calls that are out at the moment in relation to geothermal energy. And also you can see there we are well connected into the oil and gas industry. We're also involved in waste, as you can see there. And as you know, Ireland's economy is strongly planted in the agribusiness. So there are ample opportunities for demonstration projects in Ireland with agribusiness. So this connectivity with industry is particularly useful when it comes to impact in presenting proposals. Because we are well connected and we apply innovative solutions to solve issues for our clients in all these different sectors. So it allows us to demonstrate the impact that projects can have on the private sector, on industry. And then if you just showed the last slide there, Philippe, please. We do find that our involvement in not just in geothermal energy projects funded by the EC, but also other projects that we get involved in the marine sector, is that our approach to environmental impact assessments, environmental and social impact, our background in regulation, and the fact that we're immersed in the social license to operate for our clients, that this brings other soft skills to project proposals, and we find that is becoming increasingly more important as far as the Commission is concerned when it comes to presenting research proposals. So I leave it at that. My contact details are there. We look forward to collaborating with many of you at some point in proposals going forward. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Nick, also for this short presentation. And as we said today, it was not only to one project, but also some competence you have to join a consortium. Before closing the session and the event, I would like also to briefly give the floor to Jack Koskalen from the GSC Plus platform, because indeed we had as EGEC a great partnership with GSC Plus platform and the Euro and Eton Power associations to propose this call on land base, which was a bit missing from the first draft. And together we have developed a call. As we have seen in our panel, we are mainly dealing with subsurface, but we need also to have some partners about the district heating network. So maybe, Jack, if in 2 words you can explain a bit what is the GSC Plus platform. The floor is yours. Jack? No? Okay, maybe he's not able to speak now. Okay, well, anyway, I will share also the contact detail of this platform of the district heating and cooling actors. With that, I'm about to close the meeting and give the floor back to Fausto for the conclusion. I want anyway to give you some information about the next steps, notably for the ETIP DG, we'll have a General Assembly 2020 online on Friday, 27th of November in the afternoon from 2 to 4 Central European time, where we will have a series of presentations also during the General Assembly. I also remind you that the steering committee has to be renewed. We'll have election also during the AGM for the new steering committee 2020-2023. Of course, all members of the steering committee 2018-2020 are welcome to apply again, but also the new people can apply if you're interested to be involved in the activities. As you see, the activities in the next years will be mainly about implementation of the roadmap, so looking at funding opportunities and developing project research and innovation to implement the roadmap. With that, I give you back the floor to Fausto for the conclusion.
Yes, thank you, Philippe. Thank you all for your interesting contribution to the discussion. And my conclusion is that, let's say, a wish to all of us that geothermal energy can finally can play a very important role in a new Green Deal. And for this, I wish also that to join to have a synergy, much synergy between shallow and deep geothermal, and maybe from now onward speak about more generally of geothermal and try to have the best success in our future work. Thank you very much, and the appointment, as Philippe said, is on Friday 27 for the General Assembly and the election of a new steering committee. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day. And as we say, the presentation will be online soon. Goodbye.